Hi, and welcome to another episode of Kiss List Confessions. I'm Melanie Johnson, and today my special guest is Priscilla Oliveras. Hello.
Hola, hola everyone.
And can you say you can say your name again because you always say it with much better flair than I do.
Oh, but you said it really well. Hola everyone. I am Priscilla Oliveras. Excited to be here and chat all things kisses with Melanie.
That's exactly right. We are chatting all things kisses. We are writers of kissing books, and we are going to talk about kisses. So before we jump into all of that, Pris, why don't you tell us a little bit about your books?
Sure. Well, all of my books, my kind of tagline is I'm USA Today bestselling author of contemporary romance with a Latinx flavor. And kind of what that means is typically I write romances, but there are a lot of familia, like family themes throughout. So there's a lot of familia drama. And I've written mostly series. Each book is a standalone, so you could pick up book 2 and you get your, full romance. But they're a series in the sense that they revolve around typically like one family. So in book 1, like of the Keys to Love series, you meet Luis. He's the hero, but you also meet his whole family. And then book 2 is the sister, and that is Anchored Hearts. That just came out in April. So it's Ana Maria's romance. It's her second chance romance with her high school sweetheart. But you will again see all of her familia. So Luis and his partner in book 1, An Island Affair, you'll get to kind of catch up with them in book 2 and see where they are, flash forward in their relationship. So there's a lot of familia drama. There's romance. I do write closed door, so like sensual. And then they kind of go into the bedroom and we all know what happens. So I give them some privacy.
All right. Speaking of privacy, we're going to kind of invade yours. By starting with your very first kiss, you need to be able to describe it in 3 words.
Okay, you ready?
Uh-huh.
Spin the bottle.
Okay, so a night of spin the bottle. How old are you?
7th grade, which I don't know if that's old. I don't know if that's young.
I have it. My youngest just finished 7th grade, so I'm imagining that right now.
So sorry.
Oh, that's okay. She would be perfectly fine with it, I think. She'd be totally fine with it.
It seems like you have a good relationship with your girls, like just things that you share online and stuff like that. So I can imagine she might have even like come home and, Mom, guess what? But I don't think I have 3 girls and they're all different. One talks and shares a lot. One is like very, I don't think you need to know that.
Yes, my girls are different, but as far as that goes, like, yeah, my youngest, she would do something like, she tells me one day, so-and-so likes me. And I'm like, well, how do you know that? And she's like, because I'm awesome.
I love her. Yeah, great confidence. Awesome.
I just hope she carries that confidence all the way through. And just keeps it. All right. So spin the bottle, 7th grade. Was there anything memorable about it at all?
No, I just remember like really, really wanting it to land on him. And I was so excited. So thankful. So
that's good. That's good if there's something that you really want it to be and then you get it. That makes it. Were you trying to be strategic with your spin?
Oh, I don't remember. I mean, it's a bottle. I have no idea, but I can pick, like if I close my eyes, I can picture, the small group of us and where we were, and all on the floor and, that kind of thing. So it was fun.
Okay. All right. So now close your eyes and picture 3 celebs you would like to kiss. And this is obviously if they're married, we're not talking about, this is pretend, you're both cast in a movie and you
That's what I was going to say. Yes. If I could be in a movie with any of these people, I would want, my first one is Nicholas Gonzalez.
Okay.
He used to be on the Good Doctor, and he actually was my hero motif for Diego in Their Perfect Melody. So whenever I would watch the Good Doctor, I'd be like, oh my gosh, there's Diego. Yes. So Nicholas Gonzalez. Next is he's a Latino singer, and I think all of these guys are married. But he just seems so fun and he's super sexy. So Luis Fonsi, A lot of people might know him from Despacito. He sings a lot of other things. So if you haven't heard, go check him out. So Luis Fonsi. And then my last one is not a Latino, but it is Henry Cavill. I'm a Superman fan. When he in that first Superman, when he comes out of the water in that wet shirt, I'm like, wait a minute, rewind that and let's do that again.
I haven't seen I will have to watch that. I have not watched that. I have not watched The Witcher. I need to watch
I haven't either. And I'm like a semi-Marvel fan, meaning I can't quote things. I've missed some of the movies, but I have seen Superman.
As big of a Star Wars fan that I am, the Marvel and DC stuff, I haven't seen any of it.
And actually this is how much of a fan I'm not. I don't even think Superman is Marvel. I think he is DC. So see, I already messed it up.
Yes, you're right, because we saw Wonder Woman and I'm like, yeah, Wonder Woman is DC and Superman is DC. All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So see, obviously I'm not a comic fan. I'm not a comic, don't put me on your Jeopardy team for the comics category, okay?
Okay, so probably not going to have any comic book characters in these answers then. 3 fictional characters you think would make great kissers.
Okay. So my all-time book boyfriend that I will arm wrestle anyone for is Cosmo Richter in Suzanne Brockman's Hot Target in her Troubleshooter series. A Navy SEAL who can sing Broadway songs. So Cosmo. The second one that came to my mind, and I felt bad because it's one of mine, so I will give 2 other ones, but is Luis from Island Affair. I had a really hard time leaving Luis behind to start writing the next book, so I was super thrilled, right, that he gets to show up. So Luis in Island Affair, and then if I got to take one of my people out, then the other 2 is kind of like a toss-up. Mac from the Undercover Bromance series. I'm like from the Bromance series, but I think his book is Undercover Bromance. Mac has been my favorite so far. And then the last one is really hard. It's going to be one of the 2, either like Wit, or I wrote his name now because I'm going to forget, like Wit or the Devil in
from Sarah McLean.
Yes, in the Bare Knuckle Bastard series. Either one of those gentlemen, yes, please.
So some grunting.
Well, like some strong,
strong, capable men. So Mac was a surprise for me because he's so cocky and full of himself I'm like, that's a side of Pris I have not seen.
I don't know. It's weird because Mac and Sarah's characters are really alpha, more alpha than I would in real life. So I would say if I was going home with one of them, it would be Luis.
Well, I mean, people you think would make great kissers aren't necessarily people.
Yes, exactly. But I would go home with Luis.
Okay. All right. So from characters we think might make great kissers to actual kissing scenes on the page, on the screen that are your favorites.
So I already told you, I'm in like revision deadline mushy brain. And so when I'm thinking, I know I've seen movies and read books that have kissing in them. I'm like revising one that there is a little bit of kissing. So I'm trying, I immediately will go to movies maybe because I'm more visual. I don't know. And so I do remember like The Notebook is a movie that I think about and I just get really romantic feelings. So I know throughout that there are like great kisses.
Is it, are you talking about like that's the one where it has like that epic kiss in the rain? That's the one I think.
Yes. Yeah. And that's probably like the one that's on the cover of like the movie poster or something like that. But yeah, like he's holding her and lifting her up, right?
Yeah. Yes. Very intense.
Yes, it is. Okay, so let me see what I have here for movies. I also think like it was it'd be a toss up like between either Dirty Dancing or Ghost. And they're both Patrick Swayze.
I see the common denominator here.
I'm like, can they just be one answer? So there's that one. And then because I write more sweeter, and I think it would be probably good to include like a YA, I'll say like the hot tub kiss in To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
Oh, okay.
That's a cute little one, but I know there are a bunch of. I mean, in my head right now, I'm thinking I know that there are like really swoony ones, but that's a swoony one, for the PG-13 crowd.
Yeah, that was I watched that with my oldest, and that was the one. Yeah, that I was like, ooh, this is pretty hot for.
Yeah, yeah. The A in the young adult, maybe.
Okay, so we're going to move on to, if you were imagining places that make romantic locations to kiss, 3
Aww.
places you think are ideal locations to have a kiss.
Okay, so like my favorite place to be is the beach. Now, I'm not talking like From Here to Eternity where the waves are crashing over you, because I'm totally thinking sand in the bathing suit, so not that. But like maybe like leaning against a palm tree, or under on our blanket under our beach umbrella, so that kind of beach kiss. And so that's one. And I will say, like, my middle daughter took her engagement, like some of her engagement pictures, and it was on a rooftop overlooking Philadelphia, and it just looked so romantic. It was so beautiful. So I'm imagining like on a rooftop, or maybe on a rooftop bar, at night with the stars, and me and Luis, like that kind of thing. And okay, so that's 2. That's 2. Let me see the third one. I have not done this, but I'm ready to give it a try. But I think my backyard hammock would be a really romantic place, or a hammock, maybe a hammock on the beach. So that's kind of tied to number 1. But a hammock for 2, snuggling, and I think that's it.
Ooh, that's very cozy. For me, I pictured utter disaster.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably going to happen, but you know what? Then like you flip and then you're on the grass, and okay. Just keep going.
Things may continue.
Yes.
All right, so we've got the locations. Now we need to set the mood. So what 3 songs are you putting on your kiss playlist?
Okay, 3 songs on my kiss playlist. And I'll say I immediately go to like Spanish songs, because that's what I listen to when I write. So I can give you 3 of those. And then there are 2 like English songs. Like I really love Unchained Melody and To Make You Feel My Love, Adele's version, not the Bob Dylan version, sorry. So those 2. However, when I'm writing, I usually play a Pandora radio station that I created. That's Luis Miguel, a famous Mexican singer, romances. And so it plays like old love songs that like my mom and dad, that mommy and papi, listen to new ones now. And that's like usually one will come up that'll be like just perfect for the scene or the characters. And that's kind of how I do their playlist. But there are like a lot of songs with these 3 in general that when they come on, I usually just have to like stop and just like allow myself to feel the music. And one is Amarte es un placer, and that is like to love you is a pleasure. That's what it translates to. It's just so beautiful, and that's by Luis Miguel. And another one is Mi Verdad, which is called My Truth, and that is Shakira and a group called Maná. So they sing that together. And then the last one is by Mark Anthony, and it's Tu amor me hace bien. And that's like your love is good to me, your love does me good, kind of translated like that. But the lyrics, and you can Google and like put that title English, and it'll give you the lyrics in English, but they're just beautifully romantic songs.
So I will be compiling a playlist on Spotify of all of the author recommended songs.
Oh, cool.
So for anyone who's watching or listening to this, you will be able to go on Spotify and find the Kiss List Confession playlist, and you will find Priscilla's recommendations. So we can,
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yay. And then we can see like if we happen to miss, but we're not going to miss because we're going to catch all of your shows. But then we'll be able to hear all of them. That's a fun one, Mel.
Yeah. So before I let you go, Summer in the City, the anthology just released.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And there's the cover right behind you. Looks super cute. And what do you have coming up next?
So right now I'm revising. So yeah, let me just say real quickly, because I mentioned Anchored Hearts. So Anchored Hearts came out at the end of April. Summer in the City came out in the end of May. It's an anthology 3 novellas set in New York City. It's 3 close friends. They're getting ready for a girls' weekend on Saturday, but Friday night they head out to their different plans, and a blackout hits the city. So like boroughs wide, and they're all stuck in different situations with an unlikely hero. And so, shenanigans will ensue. So that's Summer in the City. And I had a really fun time writing. Mine is Lights Out with Mateo and Vanessa, kind of like a little play off of Lin-Manuel Miranda and so on. But I'm working on in 2022 right now. I think it's May it'll be released, but I'm writing. It's starting a new series. Book 1 is called West Side Love Story. It's 2 books, and they are loose retellings of Shakespeare plays, musicals based off of Shakespeare. So book 1, they all feature the Campos sisters, and they are all live in San Antonio, Texas, and they have formed a mariachi band. And so book 1, West Side Love Story, is kind of a riff off of Romeo and Juliet and West Side Story. And they're dueling mariachi bands. They're in a battle of the mariachi bands. And the patriarchs have been battling for decades about property and gentrification and that kind of stuff. So
that sounds amazing. Anytime you bring Shakespeare into it, I'm like there already. So, and San Antonio is a beautiful city with so much history. So that's going to be really fun.
Yeah, my papi was born and raised there, so it's been fun. Like there's a little scene in the church where my grandparents they did a whole wedding for their 50th. Like all 9 kids, all the kids and their kids were in the procession and all that. But so it's been fun, bringing in places that I've gone to or my familia goes to when we go back to visit, similar to what I did with the Keys to Love series.
That's beautiful, and kind of get to immortalize it in your stories. So that's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. This has been Kissless Confessions with Priscilla Oliveras, and we will see you later. Bye.
Bye. Adios.